Miles Smith, right here at 1019 The Fox, 16 minutes past 8, Fifi Fevenik, the day after Super Bowl. Woo, what a day we're having. It's very cloudy, dark outside, a lot of traffic. Going to keep you updated, especially on the Western in just a sec. Good news with this weather. It's going to clear about lunchtime into a beautiful afternoon. Here we go.
Now, as you boys know, this is the first season of MAFS I've ever watched. The most watched show in Australia over the last 10 years, and I'm finally in season 13, and we are now joined by one of the, I was going to say, sort of the most controversial brides, one of the star brides, the breakout brides. Beck is joining us. Morning, Beck.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Beck, so much to talk to you about. As you just heard, this is the first season I've watched. That was my very first dinner party last night.
Oh, get ready. Buckle up, babe. That was tame.
Well, I know. Now, Beck, we have to be completely transparent here. We had Gia in the studio last week, and she has already said it's going to get explosive. She's compared you and her to Martha and Cyrell or Dom and Olivia. Now, I've got a couple of things I want to get to the bottom of. One, did things happen at the Hens night that we didn't see? Because I feel like you two, okay, you didn't hit it off as BFFs, but you didn't seem to have any real beef that night other than not liking each other. Did we miss something?
No, you didn't. And that narrative is quite perplexing to me, to be honest with you. I mean, that would be TV gold. For me to make a slur like that towards another bride, you know, we're mic'd up. If you've seen my ad before the show came out, they bloody had me flushing the toilet and saying I didn't shave the back of my legs. So, you know, why would they leave me saying that to another bride out? It would not be left on the cutting room floor, unfortunately. I'm going to have to nip that in the bud. It just didn't happen.
But it's clearly it was heating up at the dinner party last night between you two. And you're just oil and water, aren't you? You just don't, there's nothing about you two that you don't like each other.
We're fundamentally different people, for sure.
And it's going to get hairy, isn't it? Like, we've just seen the start of it.
Oh, this is just the beginning. Get ready. Buckle up.
Okay.
Strap
oh, my
in.
gosh.
I can't wait, Beck. I love MAFS, but actually we had a big day at the Super Bowl yesterday and I got a little tipsy and I fell asleep just as you were going to the dinner party. So I'm going to watch it again today.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to it. But I did see Gia speak about your husband, Danny, saying that he was looking her up and down. But this is not the first time he's been accused of that because you guys went to Fiji. You got the best honeymoon, by the way. You went to Fiji. It was
Not Townsville.
beautiful.
And please, may I just say, you saw like an hour of the worst part of that honeymoon. We were there for 7 nights and had the most amazing time ever. Just have to PSA it.
Yeah, well, I'll PSA you. What we saw was you blowing up at Danny and you were accusing him of looking at another girl. And I was like, oh, God, Beck's got big insecurities here. Are you really insecure or is it just that they're playing that card for you?
Look, I've got to be honest with you. As someone that's lost a lot of weight, I think walking into a marriage with a stranger, there was a level of insecurity, and especially sleeping with him and then the next day him friend zoning me, I was definitely had a level of insecurity in me, but I do feel like it's being played up a lot. Like, I'm a confident human being. Do you know what I mean? Like, I walk around with no problems, but yeah, this is TV at the end of the day and what's going to get the ratings in, and that did.
And do you think, Beck, obviously a lot more plays out with Gia that you've recorded and we haven't seen yet, but at this point, so she came in last night saying her and Scott chemistry's off the chain, they've been intimate heaps and they're loving it. Do you think the fact that for you and Danny the sparks weren't lit, did that feed into a little bit of, I don't need to hear this woman having the time of her life? Like, I'm not going to say you were envious of it, but that might have exacerbated how you felt about Gia?
I wouldn't say that exacerbated how I felt about Gia. I think she and I went into that first dinner party knowing that we were, like you said, oil and water. I think for me, walking into that dinner party and seeing all of these people with these connections, it wasn't just her. It did make me go, oh gosh, is this relationship over for me? and it was a level of insecurity that came into that because you're thinking everyone's so happy, they're so into each other, and, I'm a 3 out of 10, in the chemistry wise, according to Danny, but I
Ooh.
think, yeah.
Well, I want to ask you about
said
that.
that?
Beck. On
I'm
that,
just giving it away.
But Danny said,
Danny,
he said,
that's an inside thought, champ.
he said 3 out of 10, but then he went on to say, and that's really good. I was
Yeah.
like, Danny,
Yeah.
3. But on
I mean-
that,
Oh, maybe
Beck,
it's like golf.
Well, Danny's
Closer
no
to
oil
zero,
painting,
the
is
better.
he?
well, this is what I want to ask you, Beck. So, as a viewer, we're watching it. And you watched it last night. You've seen the episode. It looks like you two have zero chemistry. Like there's nothing there. But is that the edit? Danny just looks like he's staring off into space, like not
Yeah.
engaged. But was that just is that actually how he was, or is it a bad edit for him?
No, I'm so sorry, my dog. I apologise. No, that's
Who's
not
Danny?
how it was. We had such an amazing time in Fiji, and he's right when he says the friendship. Like really, at that point, it was a best friendship, but one that was growing. And I think it's definitely something that they're sort of honing in on to make it look like it's there's nothing there. But, I know from living it that, we were in a really great position at that point, but friendly, but, not.
Do you think he slept with him
sexually.
too early?
Well, what you saw made it look like we got married, flew to Fiji in the dusk of the morning and then slept together.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. It was like 4 days later. But
Yeah,
maybe.
Beck,
Maybe.
the other question, we see you go head to head with Gia, but also I want to talk about you with the producer last night because when you said to the girls, there was maybe a concern he might be into Gia, and then the producer asked you in the piece to camera, and you just would not go there. You were like, I'm not putting it into the air. I don't want to talk about whether or not Danny might find Gia hot. When you watch it back, do you? Because that's right, that is TV gold. Because in our brains, we're like, but you've seen reality shows, they're going to show everything. And you did say, I forget the cameras are rolling.
Of course, yeah, you do.
It felt like the producer was really hitting a sore spot that maybe you were worried he was into Gia.
Of course, absolutely. And look, I can't give too much away, but you're just going to have to watch and see. But, in that moment, yes, without a doubt, you forget. You're talking to one of your best friends, being Rebecca, and you're speaking out loud. But then I also saw a girl who, was coming into this experiment really wanting this to work and having been friend zoned, on your honeymoon to then, I was protective of my relationship and of my peace and of Danny and I. And so, I did say it. I shouldn't have, because obviously then I was questioned about it and I was not willing in any capacity to discuss it because I felt like it would create a narrative. But that was my own fault.
Which they did.
It's created, baby. It's created.
Now, Fee, I love that you've watched this show now because this is so good for me because I'm right into it, Beck. Now, obviously, Danny's got wandering eyes. Now, rewind back to the start. You walk in. It's a different show. Who would you pick out of all the grooms? Who would be your number one?
Farmer Luke.
Yes. Oh,
Farmer
Beck,
Luke.
I mean,
She
I love
I don't know this guy.
I
Gotta look
decided
him up.
last night watching Beck. I mean, I don't know how you feel about Mel, but I can't have her. She is so mean to him, and he is the biggest sweetheart. I actually want him to be the next Bachelor. He's heaven.
I agree. He should definitely be the next Bachelor. Look, I am very, very good friends with Luke, and he is the kindest soul ever. Such a looker.
Yes, he's hot and a sweetheart.
Are you two together?
Yeah.
Are you two together?
Is
Beck?
he an actual
No.
farmer?
I'm
Beck, sorry, I
married.
don't know MAFS. I've just Googled him. That's a good-looking bloke. That's like the calendar firefighters.
Yeah, for sure. I'm married, guys, so no, but if I had to choose,
So you're still married?
I'm still married, yeah. If I had to choose, I would choose Farmer Luke because he is just the best.
Do you know what, Beck? I don't know whether you want to hear this. I think that's the only thing you and Gia see eye to eye on. I think she said the same thing.
Literally.
And then the only thing I wanted before we let you go,
Is Danny
the
there?
other thing last night that worried me was when the fire alarm went off, it really rattled you. I felt like you've had a trauma attached to a fire alarm.
Do you know what? I think, at the end, Editing's amazing, guys.
Yes.
Editing's amazing. No, it was. I think going into that dinner party, knowing I've got beef straight off the
Stress.
bat, like you've got
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah.
I'm feeling slightly insecure and protective, and what you didn't see is Danny and I had been separated since we come back from Fiji for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Little time out.
and yeah, a little time out. Well, you have to. So that everything needs to be on camera. So yeah, I was anxious, man. But you know what? Like at the end of the day, I'm the hate that we're getting online and stuff. I've been told to jump off bridges and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's awful.
just insane. But yeah, you see me stressed and anxious, and I was, guys, I was.
Well, I don't want to
was
go down
walking
the.
into the lion's den.
I don't want to go down the road of trolling, but in 3 words, how would you describe Gia? How do you describe Gia right now to you?
Right now, in this very moment,
Yeah.
my arch nemesis.
Oh, wow. Good tease. Good tease.
Thanks, Beck. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you again
Well
tonight.
done, Beck.
Married at First Sight continues 7:30 p.m. on 9 and 9 now. You have a great day, Beck.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
See you, mate.
Thanks,
soon.
Beck.